Notes on the second string. We're on page 8 in your book, and we're looking at the page that says, top of the page, Notes on the second string. Okay, we have this similar diagram at the top, two diagrams that match each other or correspond with one another. The picture of the guitar neck pointing to the string and that string's location on the staff. Now, in the first week of class, remember that you learned these notes on the treble clef, B, C, D. These notes on a treble clef will always be B, C, D for any instrument, guitar, voice, violin, viola, clarinet, flute, etc. What we're memorizing, since we're playing guitar, is where that B belongs on the guitar, where that C belongs on the guitar, where that D belongs on the guitar. All right, let's start with the B. So this is your second string open. Remember, this is the sixth string. This is the first string. Second string is that string right there. Okay, now, couple things. We're going to be plucking with the middle finger of the right hand because we are using our assigned fingering or finger to string assignment as we learned. So thumb plucks 6th, 5th, 4th, index plucks 3rd, middle plucks 2nd, ring finger plucks 1st string. Remember, we don't want to rest the pinky there, keep it free. And I recommend for all of these note reading exercises that we're doing, plant the thumb. That can be your stabilizer instead of the pinky. And that's better for a lot of reasons. One, if you need to use the thumb, you're already in position to pluck a string. And two, it doesn't create tension because these fingers move in opposite directions, opposing motion, of course, we have. And whereas if you're anchoring the pinky and trying to move one of these fingers while the pinky is anchored, that creates a lot of tension in the hand. And tension spreads. So we want to avoid all tension with good technique. So it's better to have that finger free and have your thumb as an anchor. So I recommend that. Okay. Second string open, plucked by middle finger of the right hand. Second string first fret, that's our C. What are we going to do? We're going to put our finger on that second string, first fret note, squeeze, press down right on the tip. And then with the right hand, again, we're going to pluck with that middle finger. So there's my C. So we have B is open, C is first fret. And then lastly, we're going to memorize that this D, which you already know sits on the 4th line in the treble clef on the staff, we're going to play that on the second string, 3rd fret. So second string, 3rd fret. Like we did with the first string notes, we want to use with the left hand the correct finger as it would line up with each fret. When we're playing in the 1st fret, we should use 1st finger. When we're playing in the 3rd fret, we should use 3rd finger. That way, we don't have to slide this way to find any note. We can just have our fingers ideally spread out like that and just drop down the correct finger, 1st or 3rd in this case. Lift off for open. Remember that plucking, we're going to be plucking all 3 of these notes with the middle finger of the right hand. B, C, D. Open, 1st, 3rd. Okay, those are the notes. You want to memorize those as soon as possible. I'm going to turn this way so that you can see both hands. I am going to be plucking the whole time with that middle finger of the right hand, and I'm going to be anchoring my thumb to keep my hand stable. We are looking now at number 9. We're going to play through 9, 10, and 11, okay, in the book, page 8. And I'm going to count out loud, although I'd like you to be in the habit of counting out loud yourself to keep track of the tempo. In number 9, I'm going to count in 4, and then we'll start. You can play along with me. And remember that these are whole notes. How do I know? It's hollow with no stem, it's called. That means it rings for 4 counts. We play on beat 1, and it holds for 4 counts. That's the definition of a whole note. All right, here is number 9. The beauty of these tutorials is that you can go back and do this over and over until you can play along correctly with me. I'm just going to do it once. Here's the count, number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You may leave that first finger down while you press down the third finger. You don't need to leave it off. The only thing that you'll hear is what's closest to the plucking hand. So if I'm pressing down here and plucking, it doesn't matter what I put to the left of it. The only thing that's sounding is what's here. Let's play through number 10. These are half notes. How do I know? Hollow note with a stem. That means 2 counts. I play it and it holds for counts 1 and 2. Then I play again on beat 3. That note rings for 3 and 4, etc. Here's number 10. And try to get in the habit of counting out loud with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we stop the note after that 4th count because that last measure is, of course, a whole note. Okay. Let's go to number 11. These are all quarter notes. How do I know? They look differently. They are filled in note head or solid note head with a stem. That means they get 1 count each. So in 4/4 time, where every measure adds up to 4 quarter notes, we are playing on every beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So we're plucking on all of those notes until we get to the last note, which is a whole note. We play on beat 1. It rings for 4 counts. Okay, page 5 has all those note values, if you've forgotten. Bottom of the page, so you want to memorize those. All right, back to number 11. And here's where I'd like to say, and this is important, you'll hear me say this a lot in the tutorials. When we are note reading, always eyes, there are my eyes, hello. The reason I'm up close in these tutorials is so that you can see my hands, but sometimes I'll show you my face. I do exist, I'm not an android. And so we want to get you to get in the habit of playing these notes while looking at the sheet music, not at your hands. These particular exercises are very easy to memorize because they are simple. So it's easy to be tempted to just memorize it and look at your hands when you're playing it. I do not want you to do that. I want you to have your eyes glued to the page. So when I'm reading this, I'm going to bend down just because I don't want to change the camera angle. I'm literally looking just at the sheet music and counting, letting my fingers find their location without looking. Because as the music gets more complicated, if you take your eyes off the page, you won't be able to find your way back into the music and reestablish your location on the page. So for other things like chords and songs that we're going to memorize, of course, it's fine to look at your hands. But when you're working on the note reading, I'd like you to be looking at the notes while you're playing and not try to memorize the individual exercises. Okay? So with that being said, let's read through number 11, eyes on the page. Again, plucking with the middle finger of the right hand. Plant that thumb for stability. And number 11 is quarter notes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. And you may go through these as many times as you like. I recommend it until you can play along with them perfectly. Remember, eyes on the music the whole time for the note reading, and remember to count out loud.